everyone, this is Vito032 and this is the Daily Deck. There's a few new decks going around that I thought I'd mention to you. First of all, on Kickstarter, the Ornate playing cards from Randy Butterfield of the Midnight Card Company and House of Playing Cards. Not sure why he still feels the need to go through House of Playing Cards. He could do this on his own and with the help of, perhaps Jackson Robinson for fulfillment, but whatever. Personally, I think it's pretty pathetic when the House of Playing Cards, which is supposed to be like an alternative to Kickstarter, has to actually use Kickstarter to produce decks. But anyways, the cards look pretty amazing. These are the white edition. They feature modified boxes with more white on them, and the faces, new pip layouts, and more of a white look. 4 colors once again, same 4 colors. And there's also 1,000 bicycle branded ones available. Not exactly sure how you get 1,000 when there's 4. I guess that works out, 250 of each. You can get them right now on Kickstarter. They are 80% funded right now. They're doing really well. They just launched this morning and they're just blowing right through it. Not a big surprise. On top of that, there's another deck that it's going to be kind of a public service for me to warn you about this one. I'll tell you about it. It is the Treasury Series Playing Cards Part 1. There is 5 decks in this campaign. 2 greenback decks. 2 that are nationals and 2 that are legal tenders. The 2 nationals are 1 greenback and 1 rainbow back. I don't know why it calls it that. And then same for the legal tenders. A greenback and a rainbow back. The only difference between them is the green one's a lot more green. The rainbow ones have a little more color. Big deal. And then there is a limited black one. He did not have a whole lot of information. This one is just a blatant ripoff of the Jackson Robinson Federal 52s. This guy even backed for one of those projects. And now he's copying him. He figures he can make $130,000 or something like that. He's out of his mind. He's not even going to get funded at this rate. And I highly doubt he will. Because it looks absolutely atrocious. These cards are butt ugly, man. I mean it. You can go check it out. See it for yourself. He's only got 19 backers. He's not going to get a whole lot more than that, I don't think, because they're just a blatant ripoff. I could not condone anyone backing this project because it's a blatant ripoff of Jackson Robinson's, and his is 300 times better than this, maybe even more than that. And then the pips on these cards don't make any sense. And the images on the code cards are pretty much copy and paste in ugly green. And it just looks ridiculous. And it's just everything, even the pledges look like a ripoff from the Federal 52 with number and letter codes like S2 and B1 and stuff like that. Jackson Robinson does that stuff. It's a complete ripoff. And the more I look at it, the uglier it gets. And the words of concerns brought by a couple of backers basically saying, it's not that good. It's a ripoff of the Federal 52s. The decks, they have one-way back designs, ugly colors, bad pips. They don't have One-Eyed Jacks or Suicide King properly done. And they hadn't listed the manufacturer or the stock or the finish. They have since. It's going to be Cardamundi. It's going to be basically like an Ericus and Finis and a decent stock of 325 GSM or something like that. But I'm not a huge fan of Cardamundis, and quite frankly, these are just rip-offs, and I would never back them. I mean, come up with something more original and unique. And I apologize for ranting, but go check them out if you want, but I don't think you'll be backing for them. And I don't think they'll get funded. Anyway, Also on Kickstarter, those horrible superhero teddy bear whatevers. 94 minutes to go, only 22% funded. It's nowhere near getting funded. It's not going to happen. The CMYK playing cards, 8 hours left, over 800% funded. Pretty amazing. It is going to be USB-C now, and it's just pretty colorful, different colors for each suit instead of having actual suits and pips. And it's pretty interesting. You might want to go check it out. It's good for collecting, probably not that good for playing anything. Moving along. See if there's anything else to tell you about. You might want to go check out the hipster playing cards. Some improvements have been made. 21 days left. It's 21% funded. How ironic. But it now has a much nicer back, an improved back design. He got rid of most of the writing on the faces, all the quotes that he had. He's got a bicycle branded one. It's a different color. And it looks pretty good. You should check it out. And oh yeah, if nobody's ever seen this cruising cards thing, it's got 13 days left, 0 all across the board for pledging, funding, and backers. Absolutely horrible. The worst Kickstarter campaign I've ever seen for playing cards. The Origins playing cards, 30 hours left, over 1,000 backers. You need to go check this out if you haven't done so already. It is up there with Federal 52s in my opinion. It's pretty awesome looking. The Acer deck, Acer, however you pronounce that, the Viking Gods deck, which has got pretty nice faces, so back. 3 days left. It is funded, but unless they get another $1,500 or so in the next 3 days, it's not going to be USB-C, and I ain't going to be getting one because I prefer USB-C over a non-USB-C, unless it's absolutely amazing. And the Bicycle Legacies from 4PM Design, still not doing that good, still struggling to get there. They added a black deck mainly to try and increase their funding, which they did, but it hasn't increased the backers. The Persian Empire Royal Edition playing cards, 5 days left, 90% funded. It's got a little bit more funding. It's not quite there. It'll probably get funded, but who knows. And the wine deck, which I haven't been mentioning lately, for Alien Inc. 11 days left, only 28% funded. Every time these guys do a USB-C deck, it doesn't get anywhere near the funding. They'll probably relaunch this one in a couple of weeks, made by some foreign company with a decent quality, but, you know, whatever. That's probably what's going to happen. And then there is one more. It is, I guess, the abstract. I don't know. It's basically listed as an art gallery inspired deck of cards. It is from Aturs B, however you pronounce it, which had another deck previously called as the Alter Egonisms, and it horribly failed. It didn't do very good at all. Got a few backers, but nowhere near enough. They were looking for like $20,000 or $30,000, something completely outrageous for a non-USB-C deck, and obviously it didn't do well. This one is doing worse. They're only looking for $1,100, and so far they've got 0 backers and funding, which is not good. Every different value has a different image, so all the 4s look the same, then all the aces look the same, etc., etc. So it's basically 13 different images. The back design is horrible. It's just black, and it says the abstract, and it says a bunch of other stuff. Not sure what. And the yeah, they don't even have a good image of the back design, so I can't really tell you what it says on it. But 0 backers. The other one at least had 7 backers and $222 out of $10,000, so I was a little bit off there. But it's still a lot of money for a non-USB-C deck. And they actually canceled that one about a week ago. Oh, my hand's getting the crap. And basically, that's pretty much it. There is a couple more new decks I'll tell you quickly about. First of all, coming from cardexperiment.com in the near future, and it'll be a pre-order first probably as usual, is a black edition of the Bicycle Acero, which looks pretty awesome. And there is coming from Zenith Conk, who previously he's behind the Coterie 1902 website. He's got a new question mark deck coming, which has a question mark on the front of the box, go figure. And the cards, there's a black deck and a kind of a brown deck. They just kind of got a couple of question marks that go from the corner to the middle, two on the backs, and it's not bad, pretty simple, minimalist, if you will. There's also that going to be included, 3 of those decks, a black envelope with a question mark on it, which is good for predictions and tricks. I think that's awesome. These will be available in a set, so you can get both colors in a set for $21.50. That includes shipping, which is pretty good. He always includes shipping. There's another one coming from him, if I can find it. There it is, a diamond deck, dark diamond actually, designed by somebody known as Triplus, and it's going to be sold by him. It's a B branded deck, and it's got it's basically a diamond glass type back design. It reminds people of the Magicon deck from last year, or from 2 years ago, I guess it was. It also reminds me a little bit of the diamond deck that was on Kickstarter, and another similar deck which was on their Kickstarter from System 6 Magic and failed pretty badly. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. It's okay. It's not bad, but we'll see. And then one more I'll tell you about. It's not a standard deck of course, but it's on Kickstarter right now. It's called Pairs, a new classic pub game, and I just shot a video on it. It was recommended by, I think it's Shane Tyree of the Call of Cthulhu decks. It's pretty awesome. Basically, the cards feature different fruits on them and different values. I think it's fruits, something like that. Basically, don't worry, that's not from food, that's from work. I just noticed that. The deck features 55 cards, no code cards or anything like that. It's just a game deck. You get 1 number 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s, etc., up until 10 10s. And the idea is, I don't know how many people can play. Oh, by the way, it's from cheapass.com. Cheapass Games. What a weird name. All right, interesting name. Basically, the idea of the game is players get dealt a card, and the idea is to not get pairs, basically. If you get a pair, you get the value of that card in points. Once you hit 11 points, you lose. In this game, there's only one loser, and everyone else is winners, basically. So it's pretty cool. Looks fun and interesting. And you can go check it out. I think you should. And I think that is all I've got. I'll see you next time.